Mic'd up.
Oh, there we go again. God dang it.
Oh, man.
Why did it skip ahead? Oh, my goodness. Professional show business.
One moment, please.
Oh, hey, I found it.
Oh, hey, a theme song.
From Lowlifes. Highlights from Lowlifes.
All right. Once again, another polished intro for our show.
Who do I see to renew my contract with these
Yeah,
clowns?
exactly. Hey, everybody, this is show number 52. We've been doing this for a year.
And you can see how much we have improved over
Happy
that
anniversary.
Thanks for joining us on Highlights from Lowlifes. Tonight, I'm joined by Rob Lannerman, Marty Brown, and our special guest, Doug J.C. Penny. The Lowlifes have been on the air, as I said, for a year now here on the Mic'd Up platform. We are a group of baseball players, senior baseball players in the Bay Area. During the pandemic, we got around to Zoom calls with each other to promote mental health, and they evolved into all kinds of topics about how we were going to save the world. And the folks that Mic'd Up liked what they saw and allowed us a platform to talk about important topics like tonight's topic: your favorite baseball theme teams. So the format's a little bit different than usual. Each of us have brought to the table two different theme teams. We will tell you what the theme is. We'll give you some examples of that. And then the rest of the panel will join in and help fill out. For those of you that want to participate, hit the microphone button at the bottom of the Mic'd Up app and leave us a 30-second comment about your favorite theme team. I see there's at least one here about a food team. So those of you that want to chime in on the food team, I'm sure Darryl Strawberry will be mentioned. Don't want to steal your thunder, Marty, but
Damn.
I'm sure he'll be mentioned. Anyway, thanks for joining us. And let's dive right in. And to help my co-hosts here, I'm going to run through the first one. I am going to do what we call the all occupation team. So these folks have an occupation in their name. So we're going to start off with St. Louis Cardinals pitcher Chris Carpenter. You all know him. There's a few more Carpenters who have played in the big leagues, but Chris is probably the most prominent Carpenter. Former Giants pitcher Dennis Cook, left-hander.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We've got a couple of guys who have the Plummer adage in their name. Bill Plummer, the old
Correct.
Reds catcher, and Nick Plummer, a Mets outfielder from a couple of years ago. St. Louis Cardinals reliever Lance Painter. So we're pretty far along on building our house. Of course, one of our favorites here in the Bay Area. This guy can be our manager and a good outfielder, Dusty Baker. Former Padres relief pitcher, and this will go good for a lot of you guys here, Greg Booker. So that's a good job for those to have. I want to move into the religious realm for a bit and talk about Andrew Abbott of the Reds and Glenn Abbott of the Mariners. Both are known for their religious leanings, the Abbotts.
Did Judas Priest play baseball?
Former Baltimore Orioles starting pitcher Steve Barber, to keep us neat and trim. Current Reds relief pitcher Buck Farmer and White Sox announcer and former pitcher Ed Farmer. Really going off the boards here with Hall of Famer Satchel Paige. So, most of our congressmen have a Paige. Former Angels relief pitcher Mike Butcher. Here's one that we'll all love. Former Dodger reliever Jim Brewer. So we're taking care of in the beer department.
There we go.
Okay. For those of you Olympic fans, Tampa Bay Rays pitcher Chris Archer. And again, back on our brewery theme, we need somebody to build those barrels, and that would be Garrett Cooper of the Marlins, the first baseman. We need somebody to make clothes, so that'll be Michael Taylor of the Pirates. Derek Fisher, the outfielder for the Blue Jays, so we can catch some food. Eddie Fisher, was also a pitcher for the White Sox. Just saw a trade in the trading deadline over the weekend. This is a bit of a reach, but Quinn Priester was traded from the Pirates to the Red Sox. So we have a Priest and an Abbott now. I know.
Ooh,
Getting
the crowd doesn't
towards
like
the end
that
of the
one.
list.
They're turning on you.
Yes. Of course, Frank Home Run Baker goes along with Dusty Baker. Former Royals first baseman Billy Butler. And then I've got Torrey Hunter, the outfielder for the Angels, and Billy Hunter, a coach with the Orioles. And my last one, and this is a bit of a reach, I'll have to ask the judges if this one works. Wally Pip. If Gladys Knight and the Pips, if the Pips is a job, is Wally Pip, is that judges? No? Yes?
It's a lot of crickets.
All right. So what do we got? Any more additions to my all occupation team?
Well, you missed an obvious one.
All right.
Len Hooker.
I like it.
So
I apologize.
Oh, go ahead.
I apologize for having to step away. Did I miss Aaron Judge?
Aaron Judge. Oh,
Yeah,
yes, of
good
course.
Yeah.
well
Hey,
done.
this may be a stretch, but how about Nick Swisher?
I don't know. Is that an occupation?
It's an avocation.
An avocation, not an occupation.
Yeah, that's true. Any others? All right. So that is the all occupation team. Hopefully you've taken copious notes and can use that later for a trivia contest. Who wants to go next?
Ooh.
Okay.
All right.
Pick Horseshack.
Mr. Penny, what is your topic?
Okay, my topic is the all nickname team.
The all nickname team. All right, we're ready.
I'm going to give you 4 nicknames. Give you a second, and then translate them. All right, number 1, Howdy Doody. Number 2, Marmaduke. Number 3, Oil Can. Number 4, Spaceman. Darryl Howdy Doody Evans. John Marmaduke Smoltz. Dennis Oil Can Boyd. And Bill the Spaceman Lee.
Wow, okay. So there was one I hadn't heard. I had no idea that Smoltz was called Marmaduke.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, that's one of his Atlanta Braves nicknames.
Got it.
Okay, I got 4 more that you'll recognize 3 of them, and you won't have a clue on the other one. Wild Thing, Smokey, Say Hey, Dirty 30. Does anybody know who Dirty 30 is?
No.
Okay, First off, Midge the Wild Thing Williams, Forrest Harville, Smokey Burgess, Willie Say Hey Mays, and Nick Dirty 30 Swisher.
Oh, okay. We're back to Swisher again.
I sense a theme here.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah, and not a
If
good
anybody
one.
misses one of these, they're fired. Human Rain Delay, The Todd Father, Panda, and Hindu. Human Rain Delay, Mike, Human Rain Delay Hargrove, Todd, the Todd Father Helton, current Hall of Famer, uh, Pablo Panda Sandoval, and Dave Hindu Henderson.
Excellent. Yeah.
Okay, the last group: Dutch Oven, Sheik, Young Again, and Beano.
Okay.
You probably know Mike the Sheik Sadek, but you might not know Derek Dutch Oven Holland and Odeby Young Again McDowell, courtesy of Clifford Berman.
So
And since
so
the
JC,
Titans
I
played
have
to
a
stay into
question
the game,
and
there be no more runs. Rob Beano Nin.
yes. So I have a question, and maybe it's not appropriate for this show, but we'll find out in a second. How does one get the nickname Dutch Oven?
Hey, we'll
I,
cover that later.
are you censoring that, Rob? Cameron? Yeah. I would too. I have no idea, and I probably don't want to know. Well,
So anyone want to chime in with some other famous nicknames?
Well, there's Walt No Neck Williams. That's
Yeah,
always on my list.
yeah.
that's a good one.
The who was
Dizzy,
the pitcher, this relief pitcher for the Orioles, Don Stanhouse, that Earl Weaver was. What do you call him? Two pack.
Yeah, two pack because he smoked two packs of cigarettes every time he pitched.
I love that
Uh,
one. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Or Doctor Strangeglove.
Oh, Dick Stewart. Yep.
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 Dizzy Dean.
Yeah.
There
Oh,
was
Dizzy
a
Dean, what a beautiful nickname.
very cruel nickname for a an early '80s catcher with the Giants, Milt May. He was having trouble throwing out runners at second base, so they called him Venus de Milo.
Oh, that's good.
And then one of my favorite nicknames, and I have no idea what his actual first name is Choo Choo Coleman. I'm
Yep.
sure his parents didn't name him Choo Choo, but the rest of the baseball world has no idea what his first name is.
That information is probably ascertainable.
He said ass.
Speaking of
All
that,
right,
how about I pass it to Marty?
Oh,
Marty,
okay.
what do you got? What's our category?
Okay. Baseball players portrayed or appeared in a black and white movie.
Okay, so just to qualify, actual baseball players who
Portrayed.
appeared in black and white
No,
movies.
baseball players portrayed
Portrayed.
or appeared. So I had to make it a little larger. So, for example, Babe Ruth was played by William Bendix. We've all seen Pride of the Yankees with Lou Gehrig. This has been brought up before. I think it's one of the great black and white movies that Fear Strikes Out, Jimmy Pearsall,
Yep. Tony Perkins. Yep.
Tony Perkins, Jimmy Stewart in the Monty Stratton story, Dizzy Dean, Pride of St. Louis. And this movie was brought up once before, but this is where I said Safe at Home, about the kid who said he knew these guys, but he really didn't. but Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris actually show up in the movie.
That was my favorite movie as a
Yeah.
kid.
And I was thinking, I was watching the MeTV, and the Rifleman was on, and Chuck Connors played a phenomenal athlete that was, played baseball, basketball, and was even drafted in the NFL. But Duke Snyder appeared in the episode of The Rifleman back in 1958. So that's kind of stretching it a little bit, but I thought it was intriguing. A lot of old black and white movies portraying major league ball players, or ball players that played. Oh, and of course, they were the first Jackie Robinson story starring Jackie Robinson
I was just going to
Yes.
bring that up. Yep.
was in black and white. Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of obscure, but that's mine. So okay,
No,
anybody
no,
else?
I like it, but I wanna stretch it out a bit
Go ahead.
to TV shows.
Okay.
Oh God, here comes Herman Munster and Mr. Ed.
Exactly.
And Donna Reed and
So you can't gloss over this topic without mentioning the famous Munsters episode with the Dodgers, and
Leo
of
the Lurker.
course the Mr. Ed episode with the Dodgers. Various different players are in each of the episodes, but um, I, a lot of people across the country they knew the Dodgers, the LA team, and of course that's where all the TV shows were filmed. So,
Yes,
oh
yeah,
hey,
that's right.
we're getting a good look up JC's nose. Hey, is that a party favor?
Yeah. It's got like two chinchillas coming out of there.
All right. So, any other black and white movies, TV shows where you saw baseball players? Off the top of my head, there were a couple of baseball players who appeared on "What's My Line," where they went in. I believe Bob Feller was on the show one time and sat on the panel and tried to fool them. Um, they asked the questions, trying to guess what his occupation is.
Right.
And if I remember right, it was always yes or no answers, or there was a little coaching from the host as to what he could say.
Right.
But
Right.
they guessed it was Bob Feller,
Yeah.
So
Yogi Berra did that once, and so did Mickey Mantle.
yeah.
I remember seeing those. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, if that didn't drive away, if that category didn't drive away our audience, I'll turn it over to Lanterman, who definitely will follow up on that theme.
All right. Well, so I was going to do places, and I had them, and then I thought that's not all that funny, really. Like Al Holland and Darryl Boston. It's interesting, but it's not that funny. It is like
Oh, great! I did
yeah.
all this homework to back you up, and now I just get to toss it away.
But I think you're going to like what I switched to, which is unfortunate baseball player names. And this has nothing to do with like Dick Pole, right? That's unfortunate, but it's not an unfortunate baseball name. Not as bad as James Outman. And a pitcher named Eric Plunk. Another pitcher named Grant Balfour. A utility infielder named Tony Suck. Harry Walker. Another pitcher, Bailey Falter. Another pitcher, Homer Bailey. The last thing you want from your pitcher is a homer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another pitcher, Bob Walk.
Yep.
Yep.
Art Fowler. The very unfortunate name, considering he spent more time on the disabled list than he did active in a uniform, Mickey Klutz. True story. And of course, the all-time, in my opinion, most unfortunate baseball name, the third baseman for the Red Sox in the 1950s, Walt Dropo.
Oh,
It's pronounced Dropo.
Yeah, not today.
Well, those are good. I'm sorry I can't help you out because I didn't know what you're going to switch to.
Neither did I, but then I'm like, these are way funnier. James out, man.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
he's
in doing my research, I found a lot of inappropriate names that people could like we the aforementioned Dick Pole,
right.
but that's a good category. Unfortunate baseball names. Yes, yeah.
Yes,
Isn't it
absolutely.
AJ Putz? Poots?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The putts could be on the body part team. You're still doing body parts, right, Rob?
Yes, I am doing body parts, not leaving
All right,
that one.
all right, good. Well, okay,
So,
so we finished round one. I think it's time for us to find out what everybody's drinking.
what you drinking?
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. Well,
Lovely.
as always, the Highlights from Lowlife show is sponsored by our good friends at Almanac Brewing in Alameda, California. Almanac is one of the premier producers of craft beer in the United States, and we're proud to be partnered with them. So each show, we like to talk about what we're drinking, and I want to start off by making these three guys extremely jealous because
Uh-oh.
this is fresh out of the tank, fresh off the line as of this morning from
Oh,
an
wow.
almanac in their lager series. As you know, they change lagers up about every 3 months. They have just rolled in to the new Rocktoberfest,
Oh.
wow.
and this beer is delicious, and it's fresh and lively. And wherever you buy Almanac beer, Bevmo, or whatever your preferred retailer, go in and tell them to bring in the new Almanac Lager series. You will get the Rocktoberfest, and boy, this is every bit as good as last year, and maybe slightly better. It's delicious. What you guys drinking? Oh, wait, I'm gonna try this. Wie eine Mutter so einheimlich fühl ich mich zu diesen Bier hingegossen.
Something went
Gesundheit.
wrong with my ear plug here.
Hey, that's what Google said translates from like a moth to a light. I'm drawn to this beer. Don't mess with
Great.
my Hingenzogen.
JC is still stuck on the Almanac Seaside West Coast IPA.
Oh,
Not
I
an
love that
IPA
one.
guy, but I love this.
I don't feel like you're stuck. I feel like that's a conscious choice, JC.
You're correct, sir.
Well, it's been on this show before, and there's no doubt it needs to be on this show almost every time because it's spectacular, and that's
Ah.
the Italian Pilsner, the Bella Blonda. Even on a hot day today, like in Reno, it's over 100, and so it's just cool and refreshing. It's a nice Pilsner that's got some flavor to it, not just some some beer that's like making love in a canoe. It's well, you know the line. But anyway, it's a fine pilsner, fine refreshing beer with a little flavor to it. Almanac does it again. The Bella Bionda.
Very nice.
Thank you.
All right. I get to try something new tonight. I am drinking Cheeky Jammer.
Mm.
What the heck?
This is Almanac's New Zealand IPA.
New Zealand.
Wow.
In a word, it's choice. It's dank. I thought dank was a bad thing, but it's on the can.
Can you
And
spell
it's
that?
exotic. Okay, so I'm going to read at the bottom, and I'm going to totally mangle what this has been dry hopped with. Hold on.
Oh,
It says
here we
dry
go.
hopped with Montioca, Monterey, Riwaka, and Nectarone. You have those in the kitchen, don't you, Marty?
Does that
Yeah,
hurt?
oh yeah. Now who can argue with that?
All right, here's my first sip. It says here it's a tap room exclusive. So I was told in advance this is a bit hoppy. It is, and I like it. Some people don't like a really hoppy beer, but this is good and it's very smooth. So try it. It's called the Cheeky Jammer. All right.
Jammer. Wow.
Very nice. Well,
Cool.
I like the varied selection of beers we're drinking tonight.
Yeah, we
That's
did.
great.
Yeah, we
And
did a good job of that. Yeah.
that
Well,
is one thing that Almanac can do is those varied selection of beers, and they do them all very well. So if you're in Alameda, California, stop by the brewery. It is a great place. It's amazing all the stuff they've done there now. It's dog friendly. It's kid friendly. It is in a great location. There's hundreds of tables. They've got food on the spot. And Marty's going to say something before I do
is
my
is it
closing pitch.
is it Marty friendly after the incident from a few months ago?
Yeah,
I
you
don't
Did
know
they get
know.
that fixed?
they built a big open air door so it would draft out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But anyway, they are literally one of the premier craft brewers in the country, and so make sure you stop by. Um, when you stop by the brewery, tell them you heard about them from the highlights from Low Life show, and they may take pity upon you. We've been discussing what kind of pity they should take upon you, and it's pretty good pity from what I hear where they're going. So yeah, there's a whole thing foaming up over there, so to speak. All right, that's enough of that almanac stuff. Yes,
All
Marty.
right.
No, I'm just
Okay.
resting my wrist. That's right. Sorry.
So let's
Oh,
let us move into round two. Again, if you want to chime in with a theme or add to our themes, hit the microphone button at the bottom of the app. Marty, you want to start off round two and tell us what your second theme team is?
Sure. And I kind of it's good. It's food. I
Food.
have the all food team, and we'll just start with it. And because I think I did a pretty good job of even putting positions with this. So our first baseman's Bob Lemon. Second
okay.
baseman is Cookie Rojas.
Great.
Third baseman is Pie Trainer.
Oh, good choice.
I know this is where it kind of maybe infringed on someone else's uh, category, but I'm a carnivore, so my shortstop is Turkey Stearns. Left field is Jim Rice. Center fielder is Coco Crisp.
Yes.
He's food on at first name and last name. If he goes both ways, which I'm sure is a surprise for Coco to learn at this time. But and of course, it was mentioned before, Darryl Strawberry is the right fielder. Now we have some guys, a few people on the bench, and a few starting pitchers: David Cohn
Oh, excellent.
and Alex Cobb.
Oh,
Very
Uh,
well done.
okay, on the bench is Billy Bean. And again, we're gonna start to go in. Before I do that, there's two personal favorites here. There's local because they played for the Reno Aces. Seth Beer
oh, yes.
and Dominic Canzone. So yeah, I think it was with the Mariners, but I'm not sure if he's still with the Mariners anymore. And again, on the bench, and again, I apologize if I'm stepping into the animals kingdom, but I am a carnivore. So on there is Tim Salmon, Buck Leonard, Steve Trout, and I'm sorry, Rabbit Moranville.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be a highlights from Low Life show without his name coming up. So well done. And I don't think it's the last we're going to hear from old Walter J. Rabbit.
That's right. It's not.
So I'm sure I missed a lot, but it started to be a rather extensive list, and I thought it was a lot of fun. So it
Well,
was
Yeah.
Marty,
cool.
I think it's appropriate to throw in brand names. Brand names of food it's important to add those into
Okay.
this entire conversation. So of course you have to have Phil Koch on your team. I was surprised that you didn't pick 2011 Texas Rangers reliever Mark Hamburger.
I thought there was a guy. I wasn't sure. I remember there was a ham. Was there a hamburger back then?
I had Wally Burger.
Yeah, Wally Burger's
well,
good.
there you go.
Or
Wally
Jake
Burger.
Burger
Yep.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the
Okay.
Marlins today.
Okay.
I had Cubs coach, former Dodger outfielder Peanuts Lowry, Gas House Gang member Pepper Martin.
oh yes.
Your DH, I think you need to have Chili Davis on there.
Oh, I had Chili
Oh.
on the list. I just didn't
Oh,
mention.
yeah.
Chili was on the list. Yep.
Pirates had a relief pitcher for years in the 50s named Tom Butters. And there was a reliever in the National and American League in the early 2000s. His last name, Gobble, Jimmy Gobble.
Excellent.
I saw a gobble. I thought, okay, it's buck. We have buck and turkey, and I thought, okay, all right, but gobble. Okay.
Now the Pirates had a pitcher in the 50s and 60s, Coot Veal.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And then the Phillies, I mean, we've got all this food. The Phillies had a utility infielder, Bobby Wine. Wine and food
Yes,
pairings.
and Rob, did you know that Bobby Wine's teammate was John Boozer?
It's too bad they didn't play with Jim Barr.
Quick story is that Seth Beer played here in Reno, was very popular, and then he left, and so everybody was kind of a little dry until they brought up a relief pitcher, Davidson. So we were drinking Dave. So
And I had a stretch name, Granny Hamner. Hey, he's got ham in there. Come on.
What about
Granny
Pedro
Hamner.
Bourbon?
Good call. Good call.
All right.
That's mine. That's
I
mine.
think we drowned that category, huh?
I think we did.
Please.
JC, what do you got
What do you
next?
got? Yeah, go for it, JC.
Okay. JC Panowski here with the all Pollock team. The captain has to be Stanislaus Stan the Man Musial.
Oh yeah.
It
Yeah,
wouldn't
Stanislaus.
it wouldn't be a good Pollock team without Carl and Mike Yastrzemski. Ted the Big Blue Brzezinski.
Yep.
Al Simmons, aka Aloysius Szymanski. Bill Mazeroski.
Oh, yes.
Alan Trammell's mom was Polish. Troy Tulowitzki.
Sure.
The guy we love to hate, A.J. Przinsky. Former Dodger pitching coach Ron Peranowski. Greg Luzinski. Mark the Bird Fidrich. And last but not least, Mo Drabowski, the famous prankster who put snakes in the teammates' lockers and famously gave Bowie Kuhn a hot foot.
Oh, I'm crestfallen. You chose Mo Drabowski. He was going to be my add-in to your team. But
There's
I
good
didn't
stories about Mo, though.
I didn't hear you mention the guy that was frequently sleeveless on the field.
Oh, Big Ted.
Ted
Yeah.
Luzinski. Yeah.
Ted Kluszewski.
I did. Ted
Did
Big
you?
Blue Krasinski. I did. He was
Sorry.
the fourth guy I mentioned.
I think that's when the crowd was going crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nicely done. Way to go, JC.
All right.
Good list. Way to
Any
go.
other polls?
What about
Somebody's got to
Stan
have another Pollock.
What about Stan Kovaleski?
Oh, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the only one I can think of, but I'm going to stick with it. Oh, wait a minute. Maz.
He got Maz.
Mazeroski?
I got Matt.
Yeah. Sorry, I stopped paying attention for a minute.
Just for a moment.
Ask my wife. I fade out.
Yeah.
It happens
sometimes, just
frequently.
for no reason.
Just for a moment. Yeah, right. Sure. Okay.
All right.
All right. I gotta pass it up to Mr. Landerman.
All right.
All right.
So I got a fun one. I'm pretty happy with this. I've got the all body parts team. So this is and my first one I'm gonna get it out of the way. The questionable one I'm gonna get out first. Merkin Valdez.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like I mean it's kind of body part or adjacent, I guess.
Everybody's waiting for the Cubs, Robbie.
Yeah, well they're coming.
Pete.
I had Randy Bush, Three Finger Brown.
Excellent.
We've got One Finger Brown, but there's Three Finger Brown. Pete Lecoq. I mean, you
Say no
can't
more.
not bring him up, right? And his protege Jack Glasscock, which maybe is not a body part. That's like a body part supplement. Chase Headley. That's
Oh yeah,
Headley.
yes.
That's Headley.
Mike Beard. Jim Palmer.
Oh, judges.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I know. It's like yeah, I guess, but I don't like it. How about Harry Cheek?
Yes, Harry Cheek.
Trey Lipscomb.
Oh,
Oh,
Barry Foote.
Very, okay.
excellent.
Steve Bye Bye Balboni. Brad Hand.
of course.
Jerry Hairston.
Oh,
Oh.
Johnny Temple.
Okay.
good one. Good one.
Thank you. Roy Face.
Hmm.
Now we're winding down. Raleigh Fingers.
And, they had to be there. Yep.
Rusty Kuntz. Hey, he played. You tell me that I'm wrong.
But did his wife know about it?
I hear from the other room, flag on the play. Wrong sport. Funny joke. Johnny Dickshot.
Of course.
And of course, the coup de grace, the holy grail, the lost Dutchman mine of players named for body parts, Tony Armas.
I'm glad to see you got that one.
Every single syllable has got a body part in it. So there you go. There's my list.
You
So,
did
that
really,
was
really
pretty
well.
good.
I'm
I
proud of
especially
you.
liked Pete Lecoq because I met him when the Giants went over to play the Cubs fantasy campers. He was the nicest man you'd ever want to meet. Just a super guy.
Yeah.
And that name has stuck with him, unfortunately.
Yep.
It was nice that you were so open to him.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh. And this is the
So-
52nd and last
you
episode.
beat that drum a little too
of-
hard, Rob.
So unbelievably, you did miss some.
I do believe it, but I
Oh.
also did this driving in the car today. So
No,
this
yeah,
is
and I'm
this
very
is no
impressed that you
baseball
were able
reference.
to make a list and eschew the safety of all the motorists around you. So that's
Yeah,
great.
it was great. Yeah.
Philadelphia Phillies utility infielder Greg Legg,
Oh yeah, I remember him.
former Marlins pitcher Lewis Head,
Okay.
dead ball era power hitter Dave Brain, the aforementioned J.J. Putz,
Yeah.
Jim Ray Hart,
Oh, good.
Oh, excellent.
Okay.
Heine Manush,
Yeah. Damn it. I
and
miss
my
Heine.
coup de grace, Bartolo Colon.
Hello.
All right, Marty, JC, you got any additions?
Gosh, I think you covered it for me.
Yeah, that Other than the fact that you guys were sick,
Marty, are you trying to say they went too far?
every day.
That's Headley.
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 So,
All right.
should we do other shows first before we go into kind of your thing and our
Sure,
lone
because
caller?
there's a brand new show coming up that I think
Oh,
you guys
great.
might be interested in watching.
Thanks.
So before I do my all bird, fish, and animal team,
Okay.
let's talk a little bit about Mic'd Up and the other shows on the platform. Mic'd Up is a app you can find on both the Apple and Google platforms. You can download it. It's free. It's free to watch our show and participate in the show. So tell your friends and have them find the highlights from Lowlifes show on the platform. Once you open up the app, you'll see the other shows that are coming up. Tomorrow, there are 2 shows. First of all, Jim Darby is going to be doing a show. Jim is a former Easton executive, and he tells stories from his time at Easton and Mizuno. And tomorrow's topic is Jim is going to talk a little bit about the time that Easton had a television show on the Financial News Network. It ran for about 5 years, and it was to encourage youth sports, and they had guests like Pete Rose and Dusty Baker and several others on the show. And Jim's going to tell some stories about that. So tune in tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific on the Jim Darby Show. Also, right after that, will be actually it's taking place at the same time. I'm sorry, 4 p.m. Pacific is the Yankees Coast to Coast show. Mike Miller and Adam Schneider are Yankee fans, one on each coast. Oh, there's our boo. Okay. And tomorrow they're going to talk about the results of the trade deadline and how the Yankees and other teams benefited or did not benefit from what had happened. I for one, can't remember a trading deadline that was as active as this. There was so many trades compared to other seasons, which is what part of the fun of baseball. And so you get to hear what they think about the Yankees and the Yankees competitors. So that's tomorrow at 4 p.m. From time to time, you'll see the Rick Barry show on here. Former NBA and ABA player, Hall of Famer Rick Barry has a show with his co-host Cyrus, and they talk everything basketball, including Rick's involvement in the 3-on-3 league. When you take a look in the app to see what's upcoming, you may see a Rick Barry show. Otherwise, go over to the archive. You can see all of the past shows that they've done. The Florida Sports Hall of Fame is hosted by John Rieger and Barry Smith. They have a show that is on here every other week or so, and they talk to members of the Florida Sports Hall of Fame, including Wade Boggs, Fred Biletnikoff. They just had Jan Stevenson, the LPGA golfer, a few weeks ago. Great show, and you get some great insights into who these people really are. Then premiering next week is something called the Rovner Report with A.J. Rovner, who is an employee of the New York Giants football team. A.J. is going to start hosting a show where he's going to talk about a lot of the sports activity going on in the New York area. He is a Penn State grad in broadcast journalism, and so give it a tune in. I think he's doing a show on August 7th. You should see it upcoming in your list. So that's what we got coming.
Look forward to it.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get into our final category, the all bird, fish, or animal team. And you've heard some of these names already because people treat My poor animals, fish, and birds like food, and that's not right. But I'll
What?
do it anyway.
But it tastes good. But it tastes good.
Yes, yes. So with the tweets in the background, let's start off with Doug Bird of the Royals and Jake Bird of the Rockies. Other birds on my list include Mike Parrott of the Mariners. Let's see. That might be the only bird on the list. I'm going to cheat a little bit later and use some nicknames, players who were named after animals. We got Rob Deere of the Giants and Brewers.
And Tigers.
Yep.
Oh my.
Nellie Fox of the White Sox.
Very good.
We're going to mention Rabbit Moranville yet again. We've got lots of fish. We got
Very angry rabbit.
we got Kevin Bass. We got Steve Trout. We got Mike Trout. We got Art Herring. We got Tim Salmon. We got Catfish Hunter.
There you go.
We got Mudcat Grant. There's a lot of fish on the list. Bob Moose.
Oh, very good.
Jake Lamb.
Not bad.
I'm going to cheat a little bit. Joe Pignatano. Chick Gandil.
Chick. Very good.
Chick. Yeah. Oh, good.
All right, we're going to do some nicknames now. Catfish Hunter. Goose Gossage. Fred the Crime Dog McGriff. Pablo Sandoval, the Kung Fu Panda. Norman Turkey Stearns, as mentioned before. Dave Parker, also known as the Cobra. One of my favorites, Brad the Animal Leslie. And now this is to end my list. This guy, you can find him online. He played for the Louisville professional baseball team in the 1890s. And his name was Chicken Wolf.
Very good.
I have
very
no
good.
idea what his actual name was, but it's a Chicken Wolf. Yeah. So what have I missed? Did I miss any?
Well,
Yes,
yeah.
obviously, Andres the Big Cat Galarraga.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Nice.
Mark the Bird Fidovich.
Very good.
Well done.
Robbie, you
Any
have that
others?
one?
No, he Rabbit Moranville came to mind, but he used that one.
Oh,
Sorry.
I'm surprised that.
Yeah, Terry Tiger Lee.
Ooh. Oh, wow. Okay.
That's a pretty good list. I'm trying to think of what you might have missed, but
no, that was very extensive. That was a nice job.
yeah.
Yeah. In doing this, I found out online there's a lot of other people that have gone through this exercise before and have documented it for us. So that's great, to have that.
All right. So I did do a place list. If we want to just run through, and then you guys can fill.
Oh, I think you should, because I have some extra places for you. So.
Okay, I think there'll be plenty. First off, it was an honorable mention for San Francisco sports writer, bar owner, and all-around esoteric individual Harry Jupiter. So I just want to recognize. I mean, he was a guy like the players like, I don't like to talk to the press, and then they go to this bar and talk to him, and then it would end up in the paper the next day, and they never understood why.
Well, I have a question before you start.
Yes.
When we talk about a place, does it have to be a town, or can it be for example, Steve Lake? Is that a place?
Yeah, I tried to be more specific. Like if there was actually a Steve Lake, then yes.
There was a Steve Lake, backup catcher for the Cubs.
Yeah, but there's also a lake named
physically,
Steve.
Steve.
Yeah, if there was
I
a lake
got you.
named
Okay.
Steve.
Okay.
So I tried to be a little, because you could, Rocky Bridges, whatever.
All right. All right.
I wanted
Gotcha.
to be
Okay.
more places than nouns. How about that?
Okay.
So, although I did have Jim Barr, Claudel or Herb Washington, yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Madison, Wisconsin Bumgarner,
Mhm.
Jim Canada, Dakota Hudson, Dallas Braden,
Okay.
or
Ooh,
Dallas
okay.
Keuchel, Eric Chavez Ravine,
Oh,
Tyler Houston, Wally Moon, Reggie Cleveland, the aforementioned Darryl Boston, Al Holland, Rudy York, Pennsylvania, and of course the coup de grace of all place name guys, Al Albuquerque. So I know there's a bunch out there because, like I said, I started the project and then I bailed on it and went for the James Outman types.
Yes, and that was fun. You hit most of the ones I found. I've just got variations. Houston Street,
There you go.
Yeah.
and my Dallas was Dallas Green, the old Cub manager.
Oh yeah. Well, I was thinking of like trying to go through every major league city and try to find a guy with that name or something relative to that. Like for Seattle, I came up with there's nobody named Seattle that played in Major League Baseball, but a suburban is Redmond, and of course there was Mike Redmond.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
there were a bunch of Franciscos.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I started like that, and then I gave up. It wasn't funny. It was just it was work,
Yeah.
and I didn't want effort. I wanted to laugh.
There's a first baseman currently with the Reno Aces is Tristan English.
Mm.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so he's had a cup of coffee every once in a while. He's up
Players
there.
named after languages.
Yeah.
Francois.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim French.
Yeah.
German Marquez.
Yeah.
See, we could
think
go
it's
on for hours,
Herman, but
folks.
it's okay.
Whatever.
There was an infielder named German, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But he kept
All right.
invading
I think
everybody else's territory.
we've exhausted our categories, and we didn't know how this would go, and it went terribly. So that's great.
Yeah. And shockingly, we have a caller.
Yes.
A lone caller.
Lone
Which
caller.
either speaks about the topic or people are tired of us after 1 year.
Hammy here with the all food team. Start with the outfield. Center field, Coco Crisp. Right field, Darryl Strawberry. Left field, Chili Davis. On the infield, we got first base, Jim Lemon. Second base, Cookie Rojas. Third base, Pie Trainer. Shortstop, don't have one. Pitcher, David Cohn. And bring it all together, managed by Dusty Baker.
So I think Hammy found some of that online, and the guy who came up with that particular team, he chose as his shortstop John McDonald because that was the closest thing he could find.
McDonald.
See, there's where Bobby Wine fits in perfectly.
Yes,
Yeah,
Bobby
yes,
Wine would be
Bobby
the
Wine.
shortstop. Yeah. Yep.
Uh,
Well, I think that's it, guys.
well, wait. Because we have to have honorable mentions, right?
Oh, sure, of course.
And because only because it just came to me while we were listening to Hammy, the back to JC's nickname team, we forgot about Bert B. Home Blyleven.
Yes. And Larry Satin Sheets. Yeah. I got to tell you guys, when Berman's first started doing that, I was all over it. I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. But then 20 years later, it wasn't so great anymore.
That's
Wow,
that's where I came up with Oh, to be young again, McDowell.
Yep, yep.
That was a real stretch. Barry U.S. Bonds.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a great one, actually. Yep.
Excellent.
We can't
All right.
forget, Orlando Cha-Cha Cepeda.
Yes, Cha Cha. And Orlando would also work in the places.
Yeah.
He would work at Orlando's. Yes.
There's no
With his Cha-Cha
crossovers.
bowl.
No crossovers. Rabbit Moranville was like in 5 of the 8 lists. And I couldn't be happier.
Webby, what was the over/under on the Rabbit Moranville mentions? Was it 5? Because I think that's what we had.
Oh yeah. As soon as I put him down on my list, I'm going, well, he could be a food. He could be an animal.
He could be a nickname.
Have you ever been to Moranville, Kansas?
There you go.
Well,
All right, gang, let's wrap it up.
as always, we're sponsored by Almanac Brewing, Alameda, California, one of America's premier craft brewers. Make sure you visit them. Thank you, Almanac, for always being with us on this crazy cavalcade of comedy.
Is that what we're doing?
As
Yes.
far as I know.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So we may or may not have a show next week. We'll let you know. For those of you following us, as soon as we post the show, you'll get an announcement. But we're generally on here on Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Play us out.
Highlights from
What a year. What a year.
Highlights